I'd like to extend a measure of gratitude to the MEDC. It appears that they have moved at least somewhat in regard to the Pure Michigan campaign. In the last few days, I've received communications from that agency in regard to the publication of their magazine that we all know last year was published in another state. All of us now have been given the list of members that will be making that decision. I still have some hesitancy because I don't know if our obligation was met. The governor and others have asked that we do some economic gardening. It was mentioned that maybe we didn't have the best chances for our businesses here in Michigan to acquire that contract. My remarks this morning are more directed to how do we make sure when we're spending tax dollars to help promote and enhance economic opportunities for our state, how do we do a better job? If companies that could have and should have bid on that work a year ago, if they had shortcomings, what effort was utilized by those responsible for that obligation? What opportunities were extended to make sure that those companies that came up short a year ago may have a better chance this year to get that state bid? I think one of the most forthright statements that our governor made was that we would peer closely, much closer, at state contracts to see who gets them, how they're extended, and what we can do better to make sure that we get the full measure of taxpayer dollars. I think as senators, we deserve an answer to see what energies, what resources were extended to make sure those that are in the publishing industry for this Pure Michigan campaign, how they were assisted to close the shortcomings that they met with last year. I think this is a good benchmark. I think the Pure Michigan campaign, it's a marvelous, marvelous effort. I really appreciate it. I understand what they've done and how they've expanded our opportunities from both ends, the upper and the lower peninsula both. But I think we have to stand up and make sure that we expend some energy. You know, we spend a lot of money, tens of millions of dollars across this state every single year on job training. And are we really dedicating that to the best chances? I think everybody in this room can point to where we have maybe misspent or didn't spend in the best regard money in our district for job creation. But when we know that we're going to have a steady effort with the Pure Michigan campaign, how do we measure up, how do we hold up those companies that would be interested in acquiring this state contract? So I'd close again by saying I commend MEDC for making this first step, making the effort more transparent, but I would like to see us do better with this economic gardening that the governor has proclaimed so many times, and I agree with him on. Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor.